What's up, J-Man? Me? Oh, nah, not too much. Just trying to make this art, you know, scratching and surviving. Yeah. I know. 10%. Don't. You'll get yours. Don't you worry. No. It's all good. Hey, you talked to the devil? Really, man. Yeah, you guys really need to work that out. Yeah. I think it's holding a grudge. It's been long enough. No. I haven't been. No, I haven't been doing that. No, I've been. No, I haven't. Oh, you saw me. You did see that. Well, look, I'll put an extra 5 in the offering plate. Okay. No, you do no. You do the same. You do the same. Hey, tell your dad I said hello. Tell your dad I said hello. All right, buddy. Okay then. Bye bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Lowbrow. Hey, this is my first time trying to narrate one of these videos, so I'll tell you a little bit about my new piece. It's called Jesus on the Main Line. It's based off of a song I've heard that's been covered many different times by many different artists. It's a pretty cool song. It's about, you can just call up Jesus and tell him whatever's wrong with you and he'll take care of it. So I thought, maybe I would make a phone that could do that. So I started out with this Juliet vintage radio, AM FM radio. Had some cool parts inside. I couldn't really use the circuit board for this piece, but I took it out and saved it so I can use it for the next piece, something else down the line. Right here you see me cutting off the tabs and flattening the what's actually the front side of the radio. It's going to become the back side of the telephone. Here I'm taking off the legs, getting it ready to just be a square box. So yeah, this is a real cool box. It had some glossy veneer finish on the outside. I had this old white Jesus bust, that I wanted to implement on this piece, and I found this vintage phone at the Lone Star Roundup. Somebody was selling it with their antiques. It was all rusted out. I thought it was super cool, so I knew it would make a cool piece one day. I tried to use as many parts as I could off of the original radio, and there's going to be a light element on the inside. Here you see me measuring some stained glass, trying to see what kind of glass, what color, what pieces of scrap I have that I can actually use that'll look nice in here. So yeah, I ended up getting like this children's fish tank toy here that you see. Yeah, so this cool kind of cheesy fish tank children's nightlight aquarium. It's got, the reason I like this is it's got like a real cool motor inside that runs off of 110. You can put that in other things when I have pieces that involve movement. But there's a real cool light. It's a fluorescent round light bulb that you see it there. It's like the perfect size for this to kind of put behind old Jesus, is have like a halo behind him, a halo effect. It was just a super bright light, so it was too bright to run it by itself, so I had to incorporate a piece of stained glass or something in front of it to kind of dull the glare of it, because I didn't want this thing to be like blinding you every time you walk past it in the hallway or wherever you choose to put it. So there's a little circuit board that came out of the fish tank that you use with it, so it can run off of a straight 110 plug. Mostly all my pieces I try to run them just off of a straight 110, so you just plug it in. I hate pieces that use batteries because the batteries die and then you can't like see all the cool things the piece can do. But yeah, this is a pretty straightforward, just wiring it up. You see the little circuit board there. Um, so yeah, I just put it inside. I attached the circuit board with the little screws that it came with in the fish tank, so I didn't really have to find any other parts. Um, I did tape up the wiring on the light. Not that it's exposed where anybody can touch it, but just as a little safety precaution. Um, yeah, so then, you see it there. I'm going to cut this piece of stained glass to fit. It's a real easy process. You just score it with the glass cutter, tap it a few times with the butt or the little round part of the glass cutter, and then just get some pliers, or see me there tapping the glass on the score line. And this is real cool. It's very super satisfying. Check this out. Bong! Yeah, man, just like that. That was like my favorite thing to do. Is just like cut that glass and just break it on that line. Yeah, so it's still a little bit long for what I need. I'm gonna have to make another cut. I'm not really too into measuring on my pieces. I like to be very organic and just kind of eyeball things. As you can see, that piece of yellow stained glass, I used it as a palette for something else because I was just too lazy to go get a palette. But here you go, you just tap it. Just kind of, accelerate the break that you just caused. Get some wide mouth pliers. Bing, there it goes. Just fell off like that. So now it's the size I need it. I'll put it in there. Once it's set and fit, I'll secure it with some Cynacralate glue. At this point, the piece is coming right along. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward piece. It's a real simple idea. I just tried to use as many very old vintage looking parts as I could, because of course I didn't want anything to look new. I don't like any of my pieces to ever look new. I want everything to look like it's just very old vintage, rusty, crusty, barely holding together. But of course, it's mostly with new electronics, new lights, new motors, everything like that. I had to do a little cutting on this little phone to be able to put the wires in and hide them. I don't use a guard or anything on my grinder. I tend to find it gets in the way. You just have to be very careful. I mean, you should definitely wear gloves. I've grinded off most of my fingertips and knuckles over the years, so I guess I just never learn. What you see me using here is a 2-part 5-minute resin epoxy. This stuff is super tough. It's tough as nails. It takes 5 minutes to set up, so you have a 5-minute work time, and then of course you just kind of leave it to sit overnight, and it'll be hard as a rock the next day. Kind of smells like you're getting a perm in your hair, if you know what that smell is like. But it worked really well for this application. That Jesus bust is porcelain, so I couldn't screw into it or drill any holes into it to secure it. It would just bust or tear up my drill bits. So yeah, in this application, the best thing for it was the 5-minute epoxy. Now you see me getting ready to attach the receiver for the phone once we get up there to that part. Alright, so here we're getting the phone receiver and bells ready to put up top. Yeah, last week my fluorescent light in the back of my studio went out. That's why it's so dark back there. I got that fixed, so it'll be much brighter in the next video. It's really just a bunch of trash back there anyway, so not much to see. So this cord I picked up at an antique shop when I bought an old lamp in San Diego. It's like it's got like a silk string wrapped around the entire cord, and there's 2 other cloth wrapped cords inside of it. So I'm gonna make the one of the inner wires into the actual phone cord. it worked out really well. It looked pretty nice. It was convincing, which is what I was going for. So yeah, I'm just putting it inside the receiver. Gonna tie a knot in it so it doesn't come out. I'm just gonna pull it up inside there, pull it through the side, and connect it inside the base of the phone. Have to drill a hole, tie another knot, secure it. Pretty much a done deal at that point. Here I drilled 2 screw holes to secure the base to the bottom of the box, and I just used some sheetrock screws to put in there. They were a little long. They were sticking out about 1 inch, so I had to take them over there, cut the tips off flush with the bottom of the box. It's always my preference to use screws and bolts when possible, because that way you know it's super secure, it's not going anywhere. This is where I take my grinder and cut off the bottom of those screws. See the sparks flying in there. Yeah, on this part I had nicked the cord with the grinder, so I cut it off and cut it back a little further. It would be you know, safe. Last thing we want is for anybody to plug in their cool new Jesus phone and get electrocuted. The tool I'm using here is it's called wire strippers. They have like these little holes in the teeth that are different sizes, so you can cut different size wire, cut the coating off of it without cutting the wire inside. They're really cool. They really help out, especially when you have like a really short wire and you don't want to like end up cutting the actual wire off inside because you don't have a lot to work with. So yeah, those are some really handy pliers, stripper tools to have. Those little blue caps that I'm screwing down on the wires, they're called wire butt connectors, and all it is there's a little cap and you put your wires together and you just screw it down onto the wire, and it holds it together. It's safe and secure. You don't have to worry about electrocuting anybody. I'm going to give it a test run to make sure. So this is pretty much how it's going to look with the round fluorescent light behind the stained glass. It's like an orangish green color, kind of like the stained glass in the church windows. Look kind of cool. So what was the front of the radio is now the back of the phone, and here I am attaching the top receiver portion and bell portion of the vintage toy phone on top to its final place. We're just about done here. Yeah, once we get this screwed in there, I think this is like the finishing touch here, just putting it on top. Only thing left to do now is install a hanger on the back. I don't have video of that because it's pretty basic. You don't need to see anything like that, but yeah, this was a pretty fun little build. I definitely enjoyed it. I always love inventing little things like that to you know, make people smile, make people laugh. I don't know, sometimes give people hope. Who knows? Either way, hanging in your house is definitely gonna be a conversation piece. The screws were a little bit too long. They were gonna poke through the inside of the phone, so I had to cut off the tips of the screws. I had already drilled the holes and had them test fit inside there. All those holes you see on this side of the box are basically where the feet used to be. Any screw holes in the bottom that used to hold the electronics in place. I didn't worry about trying to finish it, make it look nice and pretty, because I just thought that the holes and the wear and tear added character to the overall piece, which is also an aesthetic that I always try to go for. Just gonna pull the cord inside. And that's pretty much it. This is a picture of the finished product. Here's some close-up shots, some detail shots. Thanks for watching my video, guys. I really appreciate it. It's always cool trying to make new stuff for you guys. And I'll check you out on the next video.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.